woman gently placed flowers on a grave when her coworker walked up behind her. "Sarah, it's been 15 years. You need to move on," she said casually. Sarah touched her wedding ring and whispered, "I am moved on. I'm just visiting my husband." Her coworker scoffed. "That new manager likes you. I even told him you're single." "What? I never said that," Sarah replied, stunned. "You wear black every day and you reject every date. It's not healthy." Just then, the new manager appeared holding a bouquet. "Hi, Sarah. I heard about your husband. These are for you." Sarah stepped back. "Sir, thank you, but I'm married." He frowned. "I thought you were widowed?" Her coworker snorted. "See, even he thinks you're losing it." Sarah's voice turned steady, almost unbreakable. "My husband gave me 20 beautiful years. He died saving our daughter from a fire. His last words were, 'Take care of our girl.' And I will keep that promise till my last breath." The manager suddenly froze. "David Chen. You're David's wife?" Sarah nodded, her eyes filling. He reached into his wallet and pulled out an old photo. "This is him holding my little sister. He saved her first, before going back for your daughter. I've been looking for his family for years. To say thank you." The coworker stood speechless, guilt washing over her. Sarah wiped her tears. "My husband was a hero. And love like that doesn't disappear." The manager bowed his head. "Ma'am, your loyalty honors him. Some loves don't end with death." A rich man secretly added $300 to a poor worker's salary, just to see what kind of man he truly was. The landowner, Mr. Ernest, stood on the porch beside his foreman, watching the dusty farmyard stretch out before them. "Pedro," he said, pointing toward the barn, "do you see that truck driver over there?" "Yes, sir," Pedro replied. "What about him?" "Today is payday for his harvest delivery," Ernest said calmly, "and I added an extra $300 to his envelope. I want to run a little test." Pedro raised an eyebrow. "A test, sir?" Ernest nodded. "I know Juan lives across the river in a tiny house with his wife and children. He's been struggling for a long time." The foreman folded his arms. "And if he brings the money back?" "If he returns it," Ernest said quietly, "I'm going to change his life. I'll give him that old truck in the barn and a generous cash bonus." Pedro adjusted his hat. "And if he doesn't return it?" "Then I'll have to let him go," Ernest replied, his voice steady. Pedro smirked. "Boss, with all due respect, you're about to lose $300. "Why do you say that?" Ernest asked. "Just look at him," Pedro scoffed. "Old clothes, worn-out hands. A man that desperate? He'll keep the money. Anyone would." Ernest shook his head. "Pedro, don't judge a man by his appearance. He may not have much, but he might have the only thing that truly matters: honesty." He walked across the yard toward the truck. "Good afternoon, Juan," Ernest greeted. "Good afternoon, sir," Juan replied, tipping his hat. "Here's your payment for the haul." "Thank you, boss. God bless you. Count it and make sure it's right." Juan shook his head. "No need, sir. You always pay fair." Ernest nodded and walked away without another word. Hours later, in his small wooden house, Juan opened the envelope. His eyes widened. $300 extra? This must be a mistake. He looked at his sleeping children. The weak fire flickered in the corner. That extra money could cover food, fuel, rent, maybe even medicine. His hands trembled. "This would help us so much," he whispered. "But it isn't mine." He put on his hat, took a deep breath, and stepped outside into the cold night. "I'd rather return it," he murmured. "Peace of mind is worth more than money." Back at the farm, Mr. Ernest stood on the porch, staring at the dark road ahead. "Pedro," he said softly, "the test is done." Pedro scoffed. "He won't come back, boss. Men like him never return the money." Ernest smiled faintly at the horizon. "Don't be so sure, Pedro. The test has only just begun. Would you have returned the money? Tell me in the comments, and share this story with someone who needs a reminder that honesty still matters. A millionaire walked into a business dinner with his housemaid, and what she did that night shocked everyone. "You're just a maid. Who do you think you are to speak at the table of the powerful?" Those cruel words echoed across the luxury hall the moment Julia tried to speak. But what happened next silenced the entire room. Rodrigo Almeida, billionaire real estate king of São Paulo, had chosen Julia only because his date canceled. He ordered her, "Just smile and don't say a word. You're only here so I don't look alone." But Julia wasn't just a maid. She had worked in his mansion for years. She knew his schedule, his secrets, even the names of the powerful men who controlled the city. When she entered the Fasano Hotel in her silk dress, the whole room whispered, "Who is she? An heiress? A new millionaire?" But then Rodrigo's biggest rival, Eduardo, stood up and mocked him in front of everyone. A toast to Rodrigo, the man whose empire can fall overnight. Rodrigo froze. The room went silent. And then Julia calmly stepped forward, looked Eduardo in the eyes, and said something that made every powerful man grip his glass tightly. "Be careful, sir. Empires fall only when people like you build them on lies." The room gasped. Rodrigo stared at Julia, shocked. No one had ever dared speak like that, especially not a maid. Do you want part 2? Comment Amin, and don't forget to like and subscribe. He didn't want the healthy puppies, he wanted the sick one. I smiled, the boy didn't. A little kid walked into my pet shop and asked, "Can I see the puppies?" I showed him the healthiest ones, running, barking, full of life. But he ignored them all. Instead, he pointed to a tiny puppy sitting alone in the corner. "I want that one." I said, "You don't want the playful ones?" He shook his head and whispered, "He looks lonely, like me." I hesitated. That puppy is sick. He might not live long. The boy reached into his pocket, a few crumpled dollars. "Is this enough?" I said no. I warned him, he can't run. He can't play. The boy didn't argue. He hugged the puppy and softly said, "That's okay. I can't play much either." A few days later, the boy came back, crying, holding $50. "I brought the money," he said. Then he looked at me and whispered, "I have cancer. I don't have much time." He smiled at the puppy and said, "But he shouldn't be alone." Before leaving, he turned back and said something I'll never forget. "Broken things understand each other. If this touched your heart, comment, Amen. Like if you believe love doesn't need to be perfect, subscribe for more real, emotional stories." I did something horrible. I was sharpening axes for work when my little puppy walked into the room, happy just to be near me. I didn't think much of it and kept working. Suddenly I heard a loud noise. My tools broke. In anger, I kicked the table and the blade rolled across the floor. It slid straight toward my puppy and injured his paw. I froze in shock, then rushed him to the hospital. As the doctor treated him, he looked at me with sad eyes. I couldn't stop crying, holding my little friend, knowing this happened because of me. When we returned home, I placed him on the ground, but he wasn't the same anymore. Hours passed. He stayed in the same spot. I tried everything, talking to him, feeding him, but he wouldn't even touch his food. A few days later, my puppy passed away, not from pain, but from sadness. If this story touched your heart, comment Amen. Like this video and subscribe for more emotional life stories. Never take your loved ones for granted. I caught my teacher doing something I'll never forget. I walked into class early and saw her crying alone. Her eyes were red. But when the bell rang, she wiped her tears and smiled like nothing had happened. Students laughed, talked, and ignored her. We thought she was just a strict teacher who didn't care. Then I saw her desk. A photo of a little boy was taped to it. Under it were 2 words, "Missing child." My heart stopped. Her son was missing, and she was hiding her pain every single day. The next morning, I told the class. When the teacher walked in, everyone stood up. One by one, we hugged her. Some gave notes, some gave flowers. Together we said, "We love you, teacher. Be kind. You never know someone's pain." If this story touched your heart, comment Amen below. Like to show love and support. Subscribe for more heartwarming stories that inspire. A young waitress was rushing from table to table during a busy lunch hour. Just then, a well-dressed woman snapped her fingers. "Hey, I've been waiting forever." "I'm so sorry, ma'am," the waitress said politely. "We're short-staffed today," the woman scoffed. "Not my problem. Do your job properly." When the food finally arrived, the woman smirked and suddenly spilled her drink all over the waitress. "Oops, maybe be more careful next time," she said coldly. The waitress looked down, humiliated. "I'll pay your manager to fire you," the woman sneered. Just then, an older man at a corner table stood up and walked over. "What seems to be the problem here?" he asked calmly. "This girl is rude and incompetent," the woman shouted. The waitress quietly apologized once again. The man looked at her, then turned back to the woman. "I should let you know," he said calmly. "I'm the owner of this restaurant." The woman froze. "Wait, what?" "I've been watching from that table for the last 30 minutes, he continued. "She served everyone with kindness, even you." He looked directly at the woman. "Your behavior is unacceptable. You are banned from this restaurant." Then he turned to the waitress. "And you're getting a raise." Tears filled her eyes. "Thank you, sir. Sometimes the world doesn't need louder voices. It needs kinder hearts and the courage to stand up for them." If you believe kindness always wins, comment, Amin, like this video, subscribe and share to spread kindness everywhere.